Good afternoon. I'm here at the last day of Embedded World 2023, and joining me today is Rado Sustersic, who is the Principal Product Marketing Manager from u-blox. So thank you very much for joining me today. Now today we are going to be talking about choosing the right cellular technology for IoT applications. But before we get into that, could you just introduce yourself for us?
Thank you for inviting me. Good afternoon. So I'm an electronic engineer, passionate about cellular technology and communication in general. I'm in this field since 15 years. In my, let's say, business life, I've covered several roles from sales, key account management, product management, and now later product marketing. I'm in u-blox since 2016, even if I have to say that I have two lives in u-blox, because I used to work in u-blox also from 2009 to 2012.
So you've been keeping busy then?
Exactly, yes.
Can you also tell us a little bit about u-blox as a company?
So u-blox is a Swiss company that is producing and developing some of the leading world's IoT communication, GNSS, modules, chipset, and services. So we are, let's say, serving all three main markets. So this means automotive, industrial, and consumer. We are on the market since 1997. So 2022, last year, was our 25th anniversary and was also marked as our best year in u-blox history.
Oh, fantastic.
We have a worldwide presence. I'm personally based in Italy, in Trieste, where we have our biggest R&D for cellular modules. Our headquarters is in Talville, Switzerland.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And as I say, we're going to be talking about choosing the right cellular technology for IoT applications. But why is this such an important topic for IoT device makers?
So in a design phase of an IoT device, connectivity plays a really important role. I would say a critical role. This is why it's so important for the device makers. And device makers have nowadays a wide range of connectivity options, but not all are the same.
Interesting. Okay. And what is happening on the market that has made this such a complex topic?
So since the beginning of the so-called M2M era, that now it's called IoT, connectivity has significantly changed. So the legacy technologies, I'm talking about 2G and 3G, are slowly disappearing. And now on the market, we have new alternatives that are a bit more complex and offer different options in terms of cost, coverage, and power consumption.
Okay, and what are the technology options to choose from?
When we talk about IoT devices that needs to send from small to medium data, so the options are definitely LPWA technologies. So here I mean Cat-M1 or Cat-NB-IoT technologies, or 4G technologies, LTE 4G, like for example Cat1 or Cat4.
So following on from that then, can you tell me a bit more about the differences between LTE-M, LTE Cat1 bis and LTE Cat1? You know, what are the advantages and disadvantages?
So the main differences are data rates, power consumption, and cost.
Okay.
So for example, if you take the example of the narrowband IoT technology, so Cat-NB-IoT, so this is really suitable for stationary and battery-powered applications that needs to send very few data. We are talking about 200 kilobits per second. Then, if you have a device that it's traveling around the world, so needs mobility and needs to send a bit more data, then Cat-M1, it's the most suitable technology. And here we are talking about 350 kilobits per second of data rates. Then, last but not least, if you need to send even more data, so we are talking about megabits per second, Cat1, it's the right technology. From the coverage perspective, Cat1 offers the more global coverage because LPWA is not yet, let's say, equally supported in all the countries.
Okay.
Of course, price, then, it's also very important and plays an important critical role in the decision which technology I should choose. So, in the past, one of the barriers when using Cat1 was the price, because Cat1 modules are quite high from the price perspective. But nowadays, the situation has changed a bit, because nowadays we have also Cat1 bis. From the network perspective, it's exactly the same technology, but offers, let's say, a more cost-optimized solution, because let's say you have just one antenna, the RF part is simplified, and also the chipsets are, let's say, cost optimized.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays we see a huge trend in Cat1bis technology.
Okay, and following on, from all that you've said today, can you provide some tips for IoT device makers?
So when you start to design your IoT device, you should ask yourself the following main questions. So where my device will be deployed. So this means would be a regional device, so stationary regional device staying in one country or in one area in the world, or would be traveling around the world, because the coverage is very important.
Yeah.
And based on this, you can select between Cat-M and narrowband IoT or Cat1,
Yeah.
Cat1bis. Then the second question is how long the device needs to be in the field, in the sense, do I have the possibility of recharge the battery? It's a battery powered device, or my device needs to stay in the field for 10 years and I cannot recharge the battery. It's an important question, because based on this is the power consumption. And so also on this, then I can select the appropriate technology. Last but not least is how many data I need to send. Do I need small data or do I need a bit more data? So answering those questions, then you have a really good starting point to choosing the right technology.
And how can u-blox help people choose the right IoT technology?
So with, let's say, our expertise, we can help the customers during their design phase to choose the right cellular technology and even to use the cellular technology in the best possible way. I'm referring here to using in the eDirects mode, in the PSM, in the airplane. So which is really the best use case to use the different options and features that the technology offers you. Second, we are also, let's say, having this so-called nested design, which help customers to easily switch between the different technologies. Because in u-blox, for example, Sarah, it's a form factor. So represents only a form factor. But you can have different technology in the same form factor with the same pinout, so you can easily switch between, for example, Cat-M1 with 2G fallback or Cat-M1.
Yeah.
So it also shortens the time to market, and you can even have dedicated products for dedicated markets.
Fantastic. And finally then, tell us how your partnership with Digi-Key will benefit your customers.
So Digi-Key, having the quick access to all the samples and also the expertise from Digi-Key, can definitely help customers to shorten the time to market and to have, let's say, their products quick on the market. And a great example could be our exploration kit, which includes all the u-blox technology. So not just cellular, this means also GNSS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and services, so connectivity, so that you can easily start to play with the u-blox technology. It's available on Digi-Key. And so with Explorer Kit, you can transform your IoT idea in a real product.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your insights and for your top tips for IoT device makers. It's been fantastic speaking with you.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.